I was just thinking of if I was a first time watching the debate with Carlos and myself, I'm trying to interpret who's being more biblical here. I think that we have to start off with the hermeneutic. So the hermeneutic is the basis. That's why I came out in the opening of my question period with Carlos, is questioning him on his hermeneutic. He says he's never read a book on hermeneutics before. He's never did Hermeneutics 101. And so that just is very curious there. He's never even studied his own presuppositions and why he studies or reads the Bible the way he does. He smirked a little bit because he didn't know how to answer. How is your hermeneutic objective? How is it objective? Because it's not. He's saying that any unbeliever, any heretic could read any verse and apply it to themselves. So that's his hermeneutic. So if you just see the questioning period when he starts questioning me, the biggest problem we're having is the basis of hermeneutics. He argues from Matthew 24:21, "For then there will be great tribulation, such as has not been since the beginning of the world unto this time, nor ever shall be." And so from his perspective, he's already putting it from his perspective. I've never seen anything like this in history, and we've seen a lot worse things in history to disprove Jesus' words. So he's thinking he could disprove Jesus' words by looking at our history. But the first question you have to ask is, who is Jesus talking to? Your hermeneutic already assumes that Jesus is talking to you and your history. Why would you assume that? It's because his hermeneutic is off. He's interpreting the Bible not from who Jesus is referring to. He's literally talking to certain people. He's not talking to Carlos Xavier. And he's not talking to Christians 500 years from now either. And he says, "Then there shall be great tribulation, such as not been since the beginning of the world, and this time until this time, nor ever will be." Who is he talking to? Once you understand who Jesus is referring to, then you could say, "Oh, I see." So here, let me give you another example here. Let me just show you another example. Exodus 11:6. It says, "Then there shall be a great cry throughout all the land of Egypt, such as was not like it before, nor shall it be ever again." So this is referring to the plagues of Egypt, right? It's about their time. It's about their judgment. And it's setting up a comparison to what those people, that original audience, experience. Not to any event ever in history, because I could show through history that Egypt had worse situations like that and greater cries than that throughout its history. But if we keep it in its original context, those people who experienced that would never, ever, ever see it again. Because in their lifetime, those are the only ones that prophecy is referring to. The same is true with Matthew 24, verse 21. They would never see any tribulation like that ever, ever again in their lifetime. It's not through all of history. Once you assume a different hermeneutic, then of course you're going to apply it to yourself, you're going to apply it to someone 1,000 years later, and you're going to apply it to everyone else in the future. But remember, your hermeneutic is going to make you or break you. That's why every time you read the Bible, you cannot be applying things to yourself. Just like we don't apply things to ourselves in Genesis, just like we don't apply things to ourselves in the Gospels, unless Jesus specifically says, this is future for all believers, or this commandment is for all believers, or anyone that believes on me. This is true. If it's not that, then he's talking to a specific person. Go wash in the pool of Siloam, right? Your sins are forgiven you. Take up your bed and walk, right? Go and sin no more. He's talking to specific people. But first we have proper interpretation down first in its historical context. Then we can see if it applies to all believers everywhere.